just kidding. Anyway, here's a couple of ones that I thought were, I think you guys have pretty much touched on already. The first one is this. You are to lead your team. You're to lead them to become a cohesive unit that experiences God's presence. And so, you know, we've talked about some of the things, a lot of the things that you talked about are a part of this, right? In order to be servant leaders, you have to know how to serve as well as how to lead. You have to have the humility of the servant, but also the confidence of a leader, right? I mean, what you guys are talking about, I mean, you're here to bring your group together. And especially that's, I mean, a lot of times it's hard within, I mean, you basically have 36 hours to do it. If you look at it from the time you get there until the time everything's done by fourth session, you basically have 36 hours to help build this team together somehow. Actually, probably less than that, you probably have 24, really, right? And so the question is that how do you help not only build a team identity, but also how do you begin to help some of the people who are kind of on the fringe, on the outside, who have a harder time trying to fit in? How do you help to build them together? So that, you know, I mean, they don't necessarily have to be in the middle, jumping up and down and screaming. But at the same time, they have the sense of, I'm also a part of this. I remember a couple of years ago when we did the whole, I don't know if you remember, some of you remember doing the agape meal thing on the Saturday, for the senior conference. You might remember, you might not have. And I remember, at first we were picturing people just, you know, passing along bread and then they all eat together. After a while, they had like people, they had people, teams, like all together in a huddle having a like prayer time and crying and all this kind of stuff. And one neat thing I remember seeing was one guy was just kind of sitting on his own. And afterwards I came up to him and I was like, you know, what's up? I mean, is there a reason why you're sitting here? So I don't really feel part of this. And I remember one of his captains turned around at that moment. And I don't think they heard me, but he turned around at the moment, saw this guy sitting, and brought him in, right? And wanted to become part of the group. And so that's one of your challenges. One of your challenges is how do you take these, you know, most of them probably don't know each other. How do you take this group and somehow build some kind of cohesion amongst them, and not just becoming a team, but also a team that at some level, for each of them will be different, but at some level, how do you help them to experience God's presence? Whether it's through the worship time, through the Bible study time, through the rec time, through your interaction time, whatever the case may be. How, you know, for some people, you know, helping them to experience God's presence may be, you know, they're going to be on their knees with their hands stretched up during the worship time, just let it all out. Right, and for some people, maybe some people in your group have never even heard the name of Jesus except, you know, as a curse word, right? Like Bill Cosby talks about when he grew up, he and his brother Russell thought their names were, you know, Jesus Christ and God damn it, because, right, his dad would be saying, you know, Jesus Christ, pick that up, God damn it, why don't you just shut up, right? And that's how people relate to Jesus Christ, right? They think it's just some kind of name that people use. And for some of them, maybe it's the first time they're hearing about Jesus, and for them, the presence of God is just a hand touch from God on them. That for them, it's something unusual that they've never experienced before. And so the question is, how do you help build that, right? How do you help each person in your team, not just individuals, but also as a team, to experience God's presence?